Hey, my name's Edmund Smith, and you're watching The Road to Recovery. I was born in Nottingham, England, and I lived there for the first 14 years of my life, and that's where I really fell in love with football. I was just playing locally. When I was 14, obviously I moved to New Zealand, and my football started progressing. I started getting more opportunities, and I made several New Zealand age group sides, and then I realized that the American college thing was what I wanted to do. So I sent an email around to all my coaches, to all the coaches that I got in contact with, and this is where it eventuated in Pembroke.
Adam had a really horrendous injury that he had a bagged leg break, which put him out for a long period of time. During that time when I saw that happen, I knew it was going to be a long period of recovery for him. He was it was during a spring game in late March of 2012. And he was taken with the ambulance to the hospital.
Said it was about 6 minutes into the game. We were playing a friendly game in the spring against Wimbledon Hammerheads, who are in the USL. So it was just a friendly game. We were just, both sides were trying to find out what they wanted in the fall in the season. And I was playing left midfield. So we just started. I got a ball played to me from our centre midfielder. I knocked it around my man, and my left foot planted, and then their right back just came straight through my left leg, about halfway up my shin, and put all his weight through it, and my leg just snapped. And then I fell on the floor. Obviously, I couldn't get up. And that's when I heard the gasps of the bench and people telling me to stay down. Obviously, then I looked at my foot to see what was going on, and kind of picked my leg up, and it was just hanging there at a right angle. And that's when I knew, obviously, something was seriously wrong.
Two major bones in your lower leg. You have a tibia and you have a fibula. Breaking these bones, really, it's pretty demanding on the athlete, and it's pretty demanding on the surgeon as well, honestly. There's typically two different types of surgeries that the surgeon can opt to do. He's either going to go in and put a plate on either side of the bones and seal that off with literal screws to hold that plate in. That's what's going to help fuse those bones together. If he doesn't opt to do that, typically what he'll do is put a plate on the fibula, and he could take a rod and put it straight down the tibia, and it'll be a rod, the same length as what your tibia is. It'll go straight down in there, and then you'll be immobilized, and you won't be able to weight bear for a certain length of time while that fuses the bone together. Whether that rod comes out of there or not, it's typically up to the surgeon, but usually with that, with a injury that's that intensive, typically they won't pull it back out.
I got to the hospital. I remember the nurses looking at my X-ray and being quite amazed about what the bone was looking like. And I got to the hospital, pretty much immediate operation. The surgery was like they drilled a hole through my tibia, and then inserted like a 30 centimeter titanium rod straight through there, which I've still got in now, and 4 screws in total. So it was a big procedure, and I was in a hospital for about 2 or 3 days, and that's basically how it all happened. So.
After the initial surgery, the rehab process is grueling. For the athlete, he'll be immobilized, meaning that he can't put any weight, he can't move the ankle or the lower leg at all for typically at least a month or 6 to 8 weeks, depending on how fast the bones heal. Long bones like that typically take about 6 to 8 weeks to heal, and that's just for the bone itself to mend back together. That doesn't mean that the bone is completely strong again to where the athlete can go run on it. So 6 to 8 weeks they're going to be completely immobile, non-weight bearing for at least 4 of those weeks, meaning they'll be on crutches, won't be able to move the leg at all. Over that time, what happens is that you lose the range of motion, and you also lose the muscle tone, so the muscle atrophies over that time.
During the time Adam was out, the following season, he redshirted because obviously he was not going to be fit enough to play. We took him with us to every game to keep him associated, keep him part of the team. He was doing his own rehab at the time, but I felt that this would keep him involved with the guys and keep his spirits up as well. Again, with being, you know, his family on the other side of the world in New Zealand, and then obviously as we built him back up gradually, and you know, got him back in training. It was really January of 2013 that he started getting further and further into training, and then we kind of introduced him slowly into some of the exercises we were doing, and eventually it was around March of 2013 where he was in full contact training, and then I think he played his first game for us later in March in 2013. So the recovery period was almost exactly a year till he was fully back.
Top-notch guys, people that are coming off of starting or, you know, senior seasons, things like that, they don't want to hear that, you know, you have to slow them down even more. They want to be able to get back into things as quickly as possible. So not only is it physically grueling, mentally it's one of the hardest things an athlete will have to do. From my perspective, it's one of the toughest injuries that you'll see, you know, as an athletic trainer or as an athlete, just because mentally you have to keep yourself in it for so long but not be able to compete, and just to be able to mentally stay in it, psychologically stay strong. I think that says a lot about, you know, the athlete and how much they're willing to do for, you know, for their sport and for what they love, really.
After the spring season finished, you know, Adam went home. He played in New Zealand for a period of time over the summer, but was intelligent with how many games that he played, and then when he did come back in the fall, he was fully ready to go. We've had to adjust his training regime because he's still got certain pressure on his leg that he's going to have surgery after our season. So what he does is he trains and then he'll take a day off. And so in between games, also there's certain games he won't train before. So again, we've had to adjust his regime, which is, you know, allowed him to be involved as much as possible, but still not 100% in everything that we do. You know, during this time, it's obviously again was very difficult for Adam during this period, but we also try and take the time during this period to show the athletes, the person, that we care more about them than you know we do about them just winning games. Obviously, we want to be successful, but when something like this happens, it kind of puts things in perspective that it's just a game, and you know. To be honest, his career could have been ended through this, but he's come back strongly, and he's come back a stronger person, and I'm sure it will just benefit him with the perspective that he's going to gain from going through something as negative as this.
Sometimes before the injury, sometimes soccer was a bit more of a job. Sometimes it felt a bit more of a chore. You know, you come out after a long day at school and you think, oh man, like, you know, we've got to practice, and you know, still you're feeling tired and that. But now I've got a completely different outlook. Like, you know, all I want to do is play. You know, I enjoy it. I'm not taking it for granted ever again. Not even, you know, obviously I had to learn to walk again, never mind play soccer. So, you know, it was an awakening for me that, you know, I'm very lucky and I've got given the second chance to play. So it definitely changed my outlook, and you know, I appreciate all the help I was given. You know, I've never, you know, the team helped me so much through it, and the coaches. So again, yeah, it's definitely changed a lot, yeah.